Ladies and gentlemen, wow, I am fired up. Welcome back to another video on the RGTV YouTube channel, guys. What a phenomenal outing. Seattle Sounders 5, LAFC 2. And let me tell you, folks, I needed that. We needed that. To quote the great Pep Guardiola, it has been a long time since we have played LAFC and not just barely beat them, but just whoosh. What I tell you? Whoosh. What I tell you? Whoosh. Gave him that belt. Showed him who is daddy. Let me just give you a quick recap of the game. We played a rotated squad as you'd expect with the CONCACAF Champions Cup coming up Tuesday. I was not thrilled about the lineup. In particular, Danny Musovski starting. That worried me a lot, and to be honest, was a big problem. But we'll get more into that as the review goes on. But it was heavily rotated, and thankfully we played a team in the CCC as well, LAFC, who were heavily rotating their squad as well. So it kind of balanced each other out. Thank goodness. But we start the game off. It's a little bit slow to start. I mean, it's not a big deal, but Jesus Ferreira receives the ball deep, plays a great ball to Kalani Kosarense. Very good composure, by the way. Defender draped on his shoulders. He's a Tacoma Defiance guy. It's easy in that moment to feel rushed, like you have to do something, but holds the guy off, cuts inside, buries it. 1-0, phenomenal goal. And then, unfortunately, the sad thing we have to talk about is Pedro de la Vega does go down with another, what looks to appear a quad injury, so another muscle injury. And it's a shame. And honestly, it brought down my mood before, we went on to absolutely spank them the rest of the game. I'm hoping that it's only just a few week type of thing. And we do have the depth to hold off, to really keep him out, because we brought in guys like Ariel who didn't even play minutes at all. Rothrock, who seems to have turned around his poor start to the season. Georgie, of course, and then Ferreira. So from that perspective, it's not the worst thing in the world. But from the perspective of that's our most talented attacker, in my opinion, our best attacker. And he was lighting it up to start the season. He looked every bit of that $7 million price tag that we had hoped, and it just sucks to see him go down with another injury. And I really hope that he doesn't have to go down as one of, if not the biggest what if in Seattle Sounders history. But if he can't ever get a full run of health, it's gonna probably look that way, guys. And it sucks to say, it really does. So yeah, anyways, to get back to what we were talking about, that 3-back formation, I really did like defensively. I liked how, especially when they were in our defensive third, we were really compact in the box. That really made it hard for them if they whipped the ball in to get anything on it, or they were trying to play through us. And our wingers did a good job of coming back. So, for example, on the right side, Pedro de la Vega would go out there and press whoever has the ball, and then Rothrock would tuck all the way in deep inside the box. And I thought that was good, organized defending there. It makes me really happy to see how we look, because this is a new formation, and we didn't really bring out 3 to 5 back much at all last year. So I'm glad that it worked out today, especially with the rotated squad. And then offensively, I just thought we looked a lot more fluid. And to be honest, when we play in this formation, we just overall look more fluid. And I loved the rotating between Ferreira, Rothrock, De La Vega. Just was constantly moving the defense around and gave them a lot of problems. And we were able to pick up balls in nice areas. And then, so I mean, the half ends. I'm a bit down, to be honest, at this point. 1-1, we immediately concede after the Pedro de la Vega injury. And then second half begins. Danny Musovski gets subbed off the field for Jordan Morris. This second half just proves to me why one of those U22 spots needs to be on a true backup 9. Because the levels in this team, when Jordan Morris is on the field compared to when Danny Musovski is on the field, it is absolutely night and day. And sure, you can harp on, we've all had questions about his technical ability and whatnot, but it's sad that Jordan Morris looks like an absolute technical savant on the ball compared to Danny Musovski. And then you add on his athletic factors, his verticality that stretches the back line. Bro, it's completely night and day, and his sub is one of the biggest reasons why we ended up taking off in this game. So yeah, Jordan Morris comes into the game, and overall we look way more dangerous. Our play looks more fluid. We're it just goes to show you, Jordan Morris isn't a very important part of this team. As much criticism as we give him, we can have this conversation about, is he elite, is he not, blah, blah, this, that. to this team, he is very, very, very important, especially with the lack of depth that we have behind him. And then for the second goal, Paul Rothrock collects the ball, top of the box, and just rips one, man. Bottom right-hand corner. They were reviewing if it would be an offsides, which you could make an argument it was because Ferreira was offside, but I think it would have been a bit harsh to give that offside, to be honest with you. Yeah, so we take the lead there, and the floodgates just start getting open from there, man. And Paul Rothrock contributes again, plays a nice ball in behind to Jordan Morris, slots it through the keeper's legs to make it 3-1, and Jordan Morris becomes your Seattle Sounders' new all-time leading goal scorer. For as much, debate there is about Jordan Morris, whether you think he's elite or not, or is he DP worthy or not, this and that. I am so proud of the player that Jordan Morris has become and has been for the Seattle Sounders team. Jordan Morris is the best homegrown player in MLS history. To have a homegrown hometown kid like this just come in and be your all-time leading goal scorer at the end of the day, and he's gonna break 100 goals for sure. So he's going to keep on extending that lead by quite a margin. It's going to be tough for anyone to touch him just because of longevity reasons. And then just to touch again on Paul Rothrock, through all the minutes he played this year, he was the worst player on the team. And to see what he did today has brought life back into him, into this fan base. And man, I hope he keeps it up. I hope he keeps, because after those first few games, the way he played just wasn't able to contribute much, couldn't really beat anybody, looked slow, To see him bounce back like this, it's very helpful because I thought it was only a matter of time if he kept playing how he was playing that he'd just be phased out of the lineup completely with the additions that we've made. But he puts his name back in the hat today. And then once Jordan Moore scored that third goal, it just was really just absolute bang, bang, bang. Christian Roldan subs in. I gotta say something on here. I'm gonna make a statement that maybe a lot of you guys agree with, considering we're all Sounder fans here, but Christian Roldan is one of the best midfielders in the MLS. And I was so happy because the form that he had in the playoffs, him and Obed looked like two of the best midfielders in the entire league. And Christian has continued that form into this season, and man, he is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The most complete player on the team, you could argue, and he just does it. He just loves. He plays for the damn badge, man. This is our Stevie G, like this is our Frank Lampard. This is like the guy that he is up there for that Mr. Sounder title, absolutely. And he looked like one of the best MLS midfielders in the playoffs last year, and he's continuing that form. And man, I am so happy. I'm so happy for him, man. I'm going to make that statement, and I'm going to die on this hill. Christian Roldan, up there, one of the best midfielders in the MLS. Thank you very much. And then to end the game off, Georgie comes in. Game's already dead, but it was nice to see him, beat a few guys and really make up for that last few performances that he had. And listen, he's a young guy. He's a raw player. That's just how it's going to be with that kind of guy. He's going to have a lot of great moments. He's going to look, pretty bad in some games, and that's just all part of his development, man. He's still a very raw player, but nonetheless, this game he put on a nice show at the end. Absolutely torched whoever that guy was, megged him, placed the ball across. Albert Rusnak, easiest finish of your life, and then game ends 5-2, and this is a performance that we needed, big time, big performance. Because when you looked at the start of the season, this was a game where if you just looked at our first three games objectively, you would have been like, okay, Charlotte win at home. RSL, we probably lose that game. We always lose there. LAFC, hoping for a draw, if not a win. So it does make up for that Charlotte game a little bit. It would be nice to have that 6 points through the first three games, but an absolute statement made here. I'll tell you that much. And the biggest thing just goes to show you, not at the striker position, obviously, but just overall the depth that we have now, just on the wings, the midfielders' depth is fantastic. It makes me very, very excited for the season. And I think this performance can kickstart something special. I really hope it does. And Pedro de la Vega, prayers up for you, brother. I hope you get healthy soon because this team needs you. It absolutely needs you. Listen, guys, that's my review of the game. 5-2. Phenomenal performance. And look, we look to Tuesday against Cruz Azul. If we can pull off, I hope this is a result that you need to go into that game thinking, okay, we got that monkey off our back. Our first, competitive win of the season against a competitive team. And I hope we can bring this away at Cruz Azul and make something happen. I hope we can get a result there and move on, man. I really do. But even if we don't, it'll be nice to have our attention focused back entirely on the MLS because this season we could finish first in the West. We have the squad to do it. And, so if we do go out against Cruz Azul, not the worst thing in the world, I guess. But listen, that's all I got to say, ladies and gentlemen. I am absolutely stoked. I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well. If you like this review, please leave a thumbs up. Please subscribe as well. It really helps support the channel. If you want to as well, we offer a membership on the channel where in our live streams, which we do quite often, we will have one Tuesday, whatever the day is for the Cruz Azul watch along. We will have a live stream. And if you become a member, any chat you do, any question you might have, anything will get highlighted. So we will see it and it prioritizes you in those chats as well. And also you get stickers that you can use in the comments. You get the Craig Weibel one, Brian, Pedro de la Vega, and more. So it really does, at the end of the day, it helps out this channel so we can keep pumping out content like this. So I would appreciate it if you guys checked it out. And ladies and gentlemen, other than that, have a blessed day.